For the first time this past week, I've played a Kawai GX-1, and that is our piano for review, which I've never reviewed before. Stick around. Hi, this is Ted Barsley with Alamo Piano Galleries. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. And also you can shop our website at alamopianogalleries.com. Hopefully there's a store near you. And you can also get pricing information and availability on certain models. And I wanted to mention the model in the leader that I've never really played before is a GX-1. I wasn't even familiar right off the top of my head with the size of this piano. And it's because we just haven't had that many of them. When we do sell them, they're usually sold on a pass-through. It's ordered, it's paid for, it comes through, it gets tuned. I don't tune every single one of them, and it's gone. So I've never really run across a GX-1 except maybe at one of the Kawai training episodes, and at that time it probably wouldn't have been one I went and played because they had all these other phenomenal, extravagant instruments available. So that was also the first time I played a K800, and that seems to be a piano that we have problem keeping in stock, is the K800s. Enough about that. I want to get on with this GX-1. I was really kind of pleasantly surprised and pleased with this instrument because I sat down to tune it, and it was kind of the first time it had been tuned, and then I looked up some details, and it's really kind of fascinating. This piano compares with all the other GX instruments with one exception. It only has the A graphs on keys 1 through 46 as opposed to 1 through 54, which means that I think it's about the F above middle C is the last key to have an A graph. Whereas on the other pianos, it goes up to like past the A at 440. But there's so many advanced features and wonderful technology that ends up in this piano. I'm just going to read it off. This is what it has: Neotex key surfaces, mahogany hammer moldings, longer keys and key buttons, and that gives you the power of pianissimo, which means you can play real lightly. It also contains the core system, which is an acronym, Convergence for Optimum Reflected Energy. And that's basically where the beams run into a solid metal post right at the center of and at the base of the soundboard. It has a Kansai Kantagi rim, tapered soundboards made of solid spruce, and vertically laminated treble bridges. The larger models of GX, both the 6 and 7, have a continuous bridge where it just goes through the entire harp and loops around over for the bass section. The others are separated. Other things you're looking at die-cast aluminum action brackets, permanently locked rails, dual beam aluminum hammer rail, serrated rail surface, insuliner. This is an important thing. This cut back on a lot of the noise and inner vibrations. You could literally tell from when they started using an insuliner to when they did not. And it just quieted down all of the action components by cutting back on a lot of the internal vibration sound. A lot of the heavy thumping disappeared. Machine thread action screws, phenolic stabilizers, that's to keep the action locked in spot, and ABS carbon action parts, and the exclusive carbon jack. On the interior, you get the steel reinforced anti-warp key slip, dual steel reinforced key bed, V-Pro plate, 4-way joinery, and pin blocks and tuning pins. And I believe somewhere in here it should talk about the solid construction, which stands for Stretcher Overlap Integrated Design. That's their solid design. That is a fascinating thing that you can find out about Kawai pianos when you tune one, because you can actually feel it's got a great, great, great pin block in it. And the things move consistently from the low end to the high end. And I can't say enough about, again, the pianissimo and then also the volume, which I did not get overly loud on this, but we're going to have a listen and we'll be right back. To get technical on the definitions, the GX1, theoretically you could say it is a baby grand for this reason. In the Kawai manufacturing facility, they manufacture 3 types of grand pianos: the GL, the GX, and the Shigeru Kawai, the SK. In the GX, this is the smallest piano they make. So in the GX family of pianos, the GX1 is the baby grand, even though it comes in at 5 foot 5 inches. That's some of the clarity that you're hearing, where it does sound a little bit bigger than, say, a GL10, because it's got about 4.5 to 5 inches of extra string length. If you have any questions or comments, this is a great piano. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and list them down there. And we like to interact and see what kind of response we get from this GX1. I'm telling you, this is a great piano. I would love to have one of these. It's got a super grand piano sound. It's not a small sounding grand. It's not an overly large sounding grand, but it does the trick. It fits the bill. And with that, if you haven't played one, please get into a Kawai dealership and specifically ask for a GX1 so you can get in perfect tune with this video. And what nice surprise I had by sitting down and spending some time with this wonderful grand piano. We'll look forward to seeing you in the future with more pianos and digitals coming at you. Thank you so much for your time.